morning I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about a few training aids, a few training essentials, if you will. The first thing I want to talk about whenever you're training your dog is you're going to need a treat bag if they're food motivated. You're going to need a clicker so that they know exactly what behavior they're doing is exactly the behavior you want them to do. So those are two necessary things. Next, I want to talk a little bit about collars and leads. There are a whole lot of different types of collars and leads. Everything from choke collars, which is just a little bit of chain. I'll pull up some still images for you here of some of these things too, so you can see what they look like. This is typically what a choke collar looks like. With a choke collar or any of these others, make sure that when you're using it, you never leave it on the dog while the dog is unattended, because they can choke themselves down with it. You don't want to use this or a pinch collar or a martingale collar or even a slip lead, anything that can choke a dog. Never leave it on the dog when the dog is unattended. Your regular buckle collar, where it goes through and it has a buckle. Your regular nylon collar has a quick release. Any of these can be used. There's also, I didn't bring it out here with me this morning, but there's also a martingale collar, which is kind of a cross between a nylon collar and a choke collar. That's probably my favorite training collar to use. There is also a what they call a pinch collar, which has little prongs. You'll see it a lot on police working dogs and things like that, where they're trying to get the dog's attention. Again, if you're going to use a pinch type collar or a choke collar or a slip lead that chokes down or anything like that during training, never, 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 never leave them on your dog while your dog is unattended. Those things are meant for training only and can choke a dog if they're left unattended with one. To leave a collar on your dog, get one of the ones that's a buckle or one of the nylons with the quick release. That's what those are for. Those are some of the different kinds of collars. For whatever you're doing, you're working your dog at home, some of that stuff you're not going to need. A regular collar and a leash will work plenty. This is your standard 6-foot leather leash. I prefer leather over nylon because it won't burn your hands if the dog pulls through it, but you can get a leather version of this as well. You can also get a retractable leash. I don't recommend those for training. They're a little unpredictable. You need just a pretty standard solid leash. Right here, this is what's called a gentle leader. What it does is it goes around both the dog's neck and muzzle. I'll show you a still photo here in just a second on how it's applied. You could try one of those too. While it's great for walking your dog, not so good for training your dog. That's pretty much all you need to get going. A regular collar, regular leash, clicker bag, and some treat bag. And if you don't have a treat bag, no biggie. Ziploc bags work just as good. You can stick it in your pocket if you have a big pocket. Or you can put them in your mouth if you want them to look up at you, and you can treat them out of your mouth. If you're not trying to talk and make a video at the same time, that's a whole lot easier. Well, that's really what I wanted to cover with you today about different basic training needs. What questions do you have? What types of training equipment do you like to use? Give me an email. Right down here below is my email address. I'll also put it in the link for this video. Be sure and share in the comments section what you think. And as always, have a great day.